Hi, my name is Tim O'Brien. I'm a Plainville resident and a lifelong pet owner. I'm also part of an exciting new campaign to build a regional animal shelter here in our community. Some of you may have already heard about this campaign. Others may not have, and I'm sure you all have questions. To help answer those questions, I'm here today at the Medfield Animal Shelter with Sue Jones. Sue is Vice President of Paws of Plainville. Sue, I'd like to thank you for joining me here today. Why do we need a regional animal shelter, and why is this so important to our community?
The problem is the animal shelters that are in our communities, Mansfield Animal Shelter, for example, North Attleboro Animal Shelter, and kudos to those towns for recognizing that need. Those are municipally funded animal shelters, which means that their taxpayers are paying a portion of their taxes to go towards maintaining that facility, and therefore they're limited to just taking animals in from those towns. So a Plainville resident, a Wrentham resident, a rescuer like me, we have nowhere to go. And then you have the pet owners who, for whatever reason, have to surrender a pet, whether it's due to death in the family or an economic issue, the family has to move. There's no place for that person to bring their cat. When people have lost their pet, there's really no one place for that person to go to try to find that pet. By having an animal shelter, you have one resource, and you increase the chances of reuniting that pet with the pet owner. I am fortunate that I've been able to meet the people at the Medfield Animal Shelter. They are not municipally controlled, so they are a completely independent nonprofit entity, and it allows them to take in animals from other towns. And I said, there's no reason why we can't have an animal shelter in this community based on the Medfield Animal Shelter model.
Can you tell us what happens to stray animals now?
Well, currently, the law only provides for stray dogs. The towns are required to hold a dog for 10 days, and because there is basically no shelter, the towns are paying a daily kennel fee for each day the dog is held. And therefore there's a real need to move that dog after 10 days. There is nothing in place for cats.
Besides providing a safe haven for pets, what are some of the other benefits of a community animal shelter?
Well, what's really exciting that I've seen happen through the Medfield Animal Shelter and other animal shelters, I'm also a volunteer at the Mansfield Animal Shelter and have been for the last 4 years, is that it's also a great network for the community to socialize. It's a great educational resource. Now, not only can we provide pet owners with information on how to proper care of their animal, but it's also a place where the youths can come and learn the proper care of an animal, how to be kind to an animal. It gives the youths a place to go to volunteer where they can grow and they can learn and meet new people. It's great for people who are retired and maybe looking for something to do. Gives them, again, another social network.
I'm taking there are a lot of volunteer opportunities here.
Oh, extremely.
So exactly what is your proposal for a community animal shelter here in Plainville?
So my model is based on the Medfield Animal Shelter. The Medfield Animal Shelter was opened approximately 6 years ago, and it was built completely with donated funds and materials. It's run completely with volunteers.
Well, Sue, I guess the big question for our viewers is, what is this going to cost?
Well, Tim, I wish I could give you a solid number. At this point, all I can do is just give you an estimate. The model of the Medfield Animal Shelter was approximately $360,000 in donated cash was needed to build this facility. It's a 2,000 square foot facility. In addition to a lot of donated materials and labor. In today's dollars, we're estimating, because that was 6 years ago, Probably $450,000 in donated funds.
I see.
And we need volunteers and we need the businesses to donate materials and services.
Can you share with us where you are to date on this campaign?
Sure. We have raised approximately $25,000 in the Permanent Animal Shelter Fund without really doing a lot of campaigning. So I think that just speaks volumes for the fact that there are a lot of animal lovers in these communities. We launched our website 2 weeks ago. The Permanent Animal Shelter is going to be its own nonprofit entity called 4 Paws Animal Shelter Incorporated. And if you want to find us on the internet, we're at www.4pawsanimalshelter.org. And that will also tell people, what we are looking for materials. We're constantly updating that website to provide information as to what our wish list is and to post pictures of kittens that are in our foster program, et cetera, et cetera. We also are putting on that website the people who have donated their services, like the plumber, the businesses that are giving us concrete, et cetera. The email address is pawsofplainville@comcast.net.
On the outside chance that people don't have access to the internet, do you have a phone number that they can use?
Yes, actually, the phone number is 508-695-4707. The only way this project is going to succeed is with community involvement.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what fundraisers you might have upcoming?
Currently, we are actually doing an exciting fundraiser with TD Bank. It's called the Affinity Program, and people who join this program who are members of the bank, the Affinity Program will donate a certain amount of money to our nonprofit group based upon the members. We also are doing a bi-monthly booth every Sunday at Petco from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And of course, you can always send donations to Paws of Plainville, P.O. Box 2236, Plainville, Mass. 02762.
All right, Sue, well, just to sort of recap here, it sounds like we have a real grassroots effort here to build and maintain a community-wide animal shelter. Right now we have a temporary shelter in Plainville that's not quite up and running yet. You need some additional support for that. You've got a great fundraising strategy. You've got some fantastic volunteer opportunities. People can contact you via the web, via internet, or using the traditional phone, and you'd love to hear from them.
Absolutely. We got a great start, Tim, and I only see it growing from here. All people have to do is look at the Medfield Animal Shelter and see that it can be a success. We can do this today in our community. There's nothing holding us back. People have asked me, in this economy, it's going to be even more difficult to get this animal shelter up and started. And what I say is, there's always a good time to start an animal shelter, and especially in a bad economy. The need is even greater.